to be away from the thing. God, it won't stop till I let it all in. Want to be away from the thing. God. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I started this episode with a cleansing because we're going to be talking about something very different today. And also, when I say different, I mean, I don't think anyone else is talking about this. And so my ego goes to the place of, is this weird to talk about? But is that because it's weird because we don't hear about this? And do we need to make a change there? Do we need to take something that we think is weird and change it into something that becomes normal? And I'm feeling like that's why this share is happening. So in my kind of rebirth ceremony that I had on my birthday and my the eclipse energy and all of that, one of the main things that came through was how to hold the light and how to practice holding the light. And I shared that with you guys. And then, I don't know, a few weeks later, I realized that sounds so abstract. Like, how do people know how to share the light or hold light? And the message that I got in that ceremony was that it's like practicing for the Olympics and literally training with it every day to be able to hold it for longer periods of time. So I have been doing this practice myself. And what's interesting is over the last few weeks, I have noticed that as I pull that light through, whether it be, Richard and I were both sick and me working and sending energy to him physically, like holding him and sending clear, mainly around his head and the pressure in his head, I could feel the light that was coming in working through me. Now, some people will call this Reiki, and I don't know, to be honest. Like, I don't think that there needs to be a term around it. You guys know I know how to do Reiki, but to me this feels different than Reiki. It's more of a direct connection to source energy and having it work through your body, which, yes, that's what Reiki is. But I'm going to just say when I learned Reiki, this isn't how I learned it. So what I noticed in working on Richard was that the moment that I connected to the source point of, let's say, the headache, right away I get this sensation in my body, and it always comes through my left kind of head space, ear space. And what I feel is happening is that the energy is coming through that way in my body, but it's going through me to him. And the only way that I can describe this is that when that turns on, I know there's energy clearing out. So I kind of was paying attention to that prior to the last month. When I would work on him, it would be more like from the crown down, or from, the crown down through my body and just holding my energy. But then I noticed a shift happen since that last ceremony, is that now that I have the feeling of what it feels like to hold light in this vessel, when you connect with something that is of a lower vibration, it's like it turns on a switch and I wouldn't say it attacks it, but it goes right into that lower vibration source and brings light to the situation or whatever it is. And then I did a healing a few weeks ago where as I was going through each of the chakras, it was the solar plexus that really all of a sudden my whole head space started feeling this energy and going to that chakra. So I knew that's where her sticky or weak point is in her body. So it kind of was like reconfirmed as
in my body, that's how I feel it as it comes through. So what I wanted to talk about today, and if you're listening to this on the podcast, you may want to go later and look at the YouTube channel so that you can see me doing this and what it looks like for me. And again, I know this is probably going to be different for each person. The point of this video is to help you guys understand what it or the light is. So I've been sitting with this and like, how do you even describe this? And what it feels like is like that feeling when you get goosebumps all over your body, because it's such a high vibration. Your nervous system kind of goes on full alert, and it's just sitting in that full alert because, like, you know, in goosebumps a lot of the times, like, it'll come and it passes. This is like holding that energy more long term. Well, as I was shown, learning how to hold it long term. So in my body, what happens, and I'm gonna show you guys and do it, so because I can now just pull it up and connect to it because I've been practicing connecting to the energy. Now, I'm going to say this, I don't only train with this light energy when I'm working on someone. I will do it like when I was feeling really sick. I did it for myself, or every day I try to hold it, no matter, especially like if you're connecting to something like, let's say, you're out in nature and you feel comfortable, or there's something that happens where you feel uplifted. That's a perfect moment because your vibration is raised enough that you can meet this light energy at the kind of like middle point to pull it down. But the more that you start understanding what the feeling is, you can easily tap into it and then bring it to your body. So so I think I'm just going to explain how I do it. So okay, so I can be sitting anywhere, but for this moment, I'm just going to relax, and already it's coming in, and it's like my jaw starts to already open. And what happens is that as energy comes into your body, and a lot of people have talked about this in ayahuasca, their jaw is a conduit of allowing energy in and out of the chakra system. So what happens is when I start connecting with it, it's coming through this side of my ear, and it feels like a vibration that's high, pretty high. So it's like that kind of a vibration. And then as I pull it into my body, typically it's intense. Like it feels like goosebumps, but on steroids. And so a lot of the times tears will come out, yawning. It's like a shiver. So I'm going to just do it, and you guys can see how weird I look. I don't know. But okay. So I pull it in. And it's vibrating all in my headspace now. And I try to bring it down to my heart space. And then when it hits your heart, then that's the point of radiating outward. So if you're not working on someone specifically, you're just holding that vibration through your heart chakra. And that's the training. It's literally holding it in that space and holding that, being the container for, when I say light, it actually feels like the sun, like that energy of the sun coming through in your body. So it's holding that vibration of light. And then you don't have, at that point, once it hits your heart chakra, you don't really have to do anything. The goal is to train it to hold in that heart chakra space for as long as you can. Now, in the beginning, it's weird and it feels like maybe you can hold it for a few seconds and allow the energy to flow wherever it needs to go. Like that just came out as a yawn. Allow it to work through your body wherever your body is needing it. So I think the goal of this first is to work on your own body and holding it in and bringing it in, and then just letting it flow through all of your nervous system. And it feels like there's a clear sound for me because it's coming through this ear. It's like a wah, 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 but it's like a fast, and I just let whatever it is go through and kind of find its homing device. And then your ears may pop. Now, what this is doing is it's aligning the vibration of your vessel and your personality, ego, to your higher self. And it's training that feeling. So like we typically go in a lot with our mind space to understand our higher self in logic and in words and in understanding. But this is, as we balance the masculine and feminine polarities, this is the feminine. This is the feeling part of this equation. When we, and I've talked about this when I went to Hawaii, is that when we only attack things or push things for the understanding, remembering that's how we were raised. Yes, that's how we were conditioned, but that's the masculine. And the goal here is to balance the both, to find that energy in your body, in your own vessel, so that you're not logically needing to understand everything, but you're feeling and you're meeting the logic as one and bringing it into this body as then an illumination. And what the message that I got is that we need to learn how to hold that energy. We need to understand that in order for like an enlightened being to come through in this vessel time space, you have to understand what that feeling is in order to, like for me, it feels like to know when I'm off, because my personality is not enlightened at all. So when I'm working with other people in the energetic realms, I know my personality, I've talked about this, is not in the equation. What comes through is the light, and that is what I train with and allow. So the more that I've done that, the more I understand why it's not me. I'm allowing the energy to work through me. So when you start allowing and understanding what your frequency vibration of light is, it becomes easier to find that center space and know when you're vibrating of the highest vibration that you can illuminate or move through. And the way they described it to me is that the goal in this lifetime is to learn how to hold it completely. Like, now I don't know how that's possible, because as I'm doing this, you guys can see I'm kind of crying and yawning, and it's hard. It's like training with a muscle that you don't remember you even had. So to think about how can we eventually hold it completely forever, I don't know, but I know it's important to start training this. And so that's why this conversation has come through. And yesterday, one of my sisters in the energy tribe created this spreadsheet of all of our numbers using numerology, but with the tarot. And that's part of, if you're in the energy tribe, you get all of these amazing women bringing forth their gifts and sharing their gifts with you in such unique ways. But in this case, she shared a list of what our personality card, our soul card, our teacher card, and then our card for the year of 2021 and the card for the year of 2022. So my personality card is, and the personality card is what you have come into this particular lifetime to learn. And then mine is the card 21, which is the world. And I have my Wild Unknown tarot book. And I've talked about this. Tarot is not my medium. So I definitely refer to others in this realm. But the world card is wholeness and completion. And when I read this, I knew this was my confirmation of synchronicities that I needed to put this out there, regardless of if it looks different and strange. So this is what you have come into this particular lifetime to learn. So this is what my personality is learning in this lifetime. The world is the final card in the journey of the major arcana, and it signifies completion, harmony, and contentment. It's rare to experience this energy, as we are usually consumed by wanting, needing, and achieving. So when this card appears, contemplate for a moment the idea of being whole. Focus on the image of this card and close your eyes and envision this radiating energy inside of you. What does it feel like? Where is it located? What blocks you from feeling the sense of wholeness each and every day of your life? I was like, what? Because I had already been thinking about doing this episode, and I was like, is it, like, should I, shouldn't I? Yes, this is what my personality is here to share. So this is what I am trying to help everyone understand, that wholeness, that world, the completion of this card is holding that vibration in your heart chakra and letting it almost like when it gets to the heart chakra, it magnifies, and then it kind of, imagine like a star, it kind of goes off in the directions that it's needed. But that is what it means by holding that wholeness inside. And the only way that we get there is by allowing the feminine feeling of it through your body. And yes, I know we can all say we all have different gifts. And yes, mine happens to be strongly in energy, but that's not my main gift. My main gift is the downloads. It's just the claircognizance and understanding things, which is the masculine. This is my other one, which is the clairsentient, which is feeling into everything. And, being a projector, it helps with this. But we all have, if we're looking at our human design, we all have chakras that are open, which are the ones that we're here to feel. We're here to take in others' energy. So even if you're a generator and you aren't completely open, it doesn't matter. You're still feeling into other people in certain parts of your body. So when we talk about feeling into this one space of source energy, it's actually feeling into you. And there is nothing better than that, because then you realize like what isn't you, and it helps you to really understand that. When I always say, I know I'm here for light, because that's what my vibration is. Like, I think you would know, and I know people that are here to work on the earthly realms and are here to go into the denser energies and bring energy to that space and enlighten that space. Now, for me, when I look at what is my being, what is my purpose here, it is light vibration. So then is there anything more that we should do than to pull it in and hold it? Because when you think about the aura, it literally is, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to heal anyone. Just being that light vibration, whatever your vibration is, holding it in your body and just radiating it outward through your aura, that's it. That is enough. We are each here to be so individually unique, but we shut it off before we can even do that. So this technique is learning to what your vibration is and holding it in your body. Now, as I said, it's not easy. It feels uncomfortable. It's like intense. I feel like, so when you guys sit down to do this, and it can be in your meditation, it doesn't even have to be in meditation, but the higher that you can raise your vessel vibration, so it could be like I said, out in nature, or after you spend time with your animals, or watching the sunset, something that has lifted your spirit up, that helps you to accept in this in a way, it's going to feel like a foreign vibration because it is, because you're not used to it. But as you are a higher vibration of your earthly self, it's like it creates a doorway that allows this energy to flow through the actual physical matter of this body. So what I would say is, yes, meditation could be one of the ways, or if you dance, or if you do yoga, whatever gets you to that centered, still space in your mind and in your physical body, then take a minute and just, all you have to do is sit. Now, I get it in my ear mainly was when it starts, but you can also envision it through the crown and just wait, like pull it in, kind of like almost, okay, this is gonna sound weird too. It almost feels like the muscles in my body go tense because it feels foreign. So when you're sitting there, just start to like almost tense up, and I'm talking about, it's more these upper chakras. So almost like tense them up in a way, like if you're watching the video, you can see I'm kind of like shaking my head a little bit. It's like very microscopic, but it's like doing a little vibration shift, and then it comes right in, and it feels like electric. And now, why are we doing this? Like, I would go back to, that's you. That is you. And I know that that is what you're here to illuminate in this lifetime. I can only bring my own vibration in, but each one of us is so unique, and it's like a snowflake that has to be brought into this planet. So I hope that this is helpful. If you guys have any questions, please ask me, because I'm trying to think of all the different ways to share this. And if you haven't done plant medicine, you don't understand what it feels like to receive, most likely, that energy of where I'm talking about. Usually it's clearing out, and it's like your mouth opens up so big to allow these energies to leave your body, but it's kind of the same way coming in. It's like all of your normal personality movements of your body aren't applicable, because when spirit takes over, it uses the ports, let's say, of your ears and your mouth, your nose, to move it out, move things out. So as you bring in this energy, you're going to feel that it's going to move out of you too. Now, in the case of when I do Richard's headaches, I usually have both of my hands on his head, and I pull, as the energy comes through me, I pull it down to my fingers, and then I transmute whatever is the thread that he's attached to. So I pull it into my body, and then I just bring it, like almost like have it meet that light space, and then I just hold it. I used to do where I tried to transmute it through my root chakra into the ground, but then I learned through Puma Freddy Singona that actually the earth doesn't need any more dense energy. We can transmute it in our body. So I use that practice to know I'm strong enough. And again, this goes back to the vaccine. You can transmute anything. If you have enough light in your body, nothing is untransmutable. So practice with your animals. I always talk about this, and Penny's hips. Like, that girl is always wanting my energy on her hips, because it feels good to her. And it's an easy way to practice with an animal or your children. I know, like, one of the girls in the tribe, her son has pain issues before he goes to bed, and she tried it, and it works. Like, we think it's magic, but no, this is how we were meant to be in this planet. And if you think about how a mother carries and nurtures a baby, it's the same thing. The mother is giving energy to that vessel. And we have to get back into understanding that the energy of feeling and emotion is what is meant to radiate through this body. It's not just the mind. It's not the thinking logical and then the body comes second. No, this vessel is like the most advanced system, and we just have to remember how to use it. So I hope that you guys start practicing with this, and like I said, it will be maybe in the beginning seconds that you can hold it, and that's perfectly fine. And then just the next day, hold a little more and just start building it up. Now, I was shown that the reason that we're doing this is that eventually we become the energy source. We are the source. We aren't going to always be able to get energy from outside. Or it's possible too that what if the energy source that we're bringing in is a purer form than what we get from the sun? I've had other visions of the sun, and I think I've talked about this eventually going away. I don't know if it's in this lifetime, but we're being trained to learn how to hold that source of energy inside. So I really would love to hear your comments on this, and also, like, if you guys want to share how you do it, because I think that would be helpful. I know I'm just one person and one experience, and if this is a practice that you guys are already doing, please share in the comments how you're holding it and how you're moving it through, and what your practice is, because I can only bring through mine, and I know it's just one perspective of a diamond facet of so many perspectives. So I hope this is helpful for you guys, and understanding that this is one of the fundamental tools that we need to start practicing. And what I also know is the more you tune into that vibration, it's like it's breaking through the calcification of a lot of things in your nervous system. So it makes things flow easier. It makes everything in this process of awakening speed up. It's like the synchronicities speed up. You feel things versus needing to understand them. There's this call to not look outside of ourselves for these things, to know. There's a clear knowing when you hold your own vibration. It can feel like an intuition. It can feel like a download. It can feel like I just know. That is where we're all meant to get to, because each of our decisions and choices and all of that is going to be vast and many as the years progress. And the only way that you'll have your compass is to hold your own energy. So I hope that this is helpful, and I love sharing this with you, and I hope you're all well.